Well, we're back, guys. So we're way behind. There's no real getting around it. We're behind, and we're more behind because of this thing. As you've seen in the last video, we do have some critters living in it, so we got to pull the heads off that and figure out what we're doing there. We did get some work done on the frame. So today we're gonna get our bars that connect the front to the back done, and we're gonna use our new pipe bender. So we got a new pipe bender. I'm not saying where I got it from because I'm not exactly happy with them, but yeah, we're gonna test this thing out. There's a program that you can use to make bending easier, and am I gonna use it? Probably not. Am I gonna mess a bunch of stuff up? Probably. I don't know how to use the program, so I haven't really had time to get into it. So that's the plan. We're gonna get our bars that come from here back to the lower trailing arm mounts. We got to plate this in to mount the bar onto it, and then we can put some cross bracing in. And then we can put the engine, just set it in here so we can see where our tranny cross member is and all that good stuff. But yeah, so here's the bender that I'm gonna be using. These things are expensive. You can buy them used. You can, like, if this is something you want to do, there is used ones out there. Just look on your marketplace or whatever. I opted to go with the new one because I feel like if you guys enjoy what we're doing here, Frank, my truck out there, it might get caged up and we might do something silly with it too. So, but we're gonna get after this. I'm gonna get some stuff set up and clean up a little bit so I got some room to work. So today's gonna be a good day. Okay, so I just did a whole bunch of measuring because we added on this piece here. In the back of the 4 doors, there is, when you set the body on, there's a like a floor brace here. So I just got to make sure that the tubing we put in here isn't gonna interfere with what we're doing. So I think we're good. We should, if we go off of this and we put just a slight bend in it out, and then I got to stay about 7 inches away from the frame. So we should be good with exactly what I wanted to do. I had to double check because that would have been no good to do all this work and then set the body on and then have interference with the cross members or the floor braces. There is one floor brace on it that is, it's rusted out. If it was all there, it would interfere, but because it's rusted out, it won't interfere. But we're gonna fix that anyways. That's where our seat is gonna mount. Our seat belts mount into that, so I do have to brace that for the 5-point harness, and we're gonna build some bracing for the seats as well, right? When you're harnessed into one of these cars, if you go for a ride, you want to make sure that seat stays put, right? So yeah, I got some stuff cleaned up. We're gonna take some measurements and see if we can not ruin some pipe here, because this DOM pipe is expensive. All right, so we got these little plates made. We got it all weld through primer, and it's gonna go right there for my tube to mount to. That'll just stiffen that up a little bit. I was gonna put a plate all right here, but then my park brake cable wouldn't work. I just have to cut a hole through there, but I like doing it this way. It kind of keeps everything tighter, and yeah, so that's what we're doing. So yeah, I'm gonna weld this out and then we'll try bending some tube and see if we mess that up. I don't exactly know what I'm doing here, so we're just kind of winging it. I'm gonna bend this one and we'll see how it turns out and we'll be back. All right, so I don't know, could have went better. That's leaking. Not sure what exactly is going on here. But yeah, I got my bars bent the same, so we'll get those. So we'll get those all cut to length and we can fit them in, make sure they're level, and yeah, it's going along well. This thing, I don't know, I gotta do some reading, and I'm sure there's a better way to do it than how I was doing it. Again, it is what it is. Should have spent the extra money and got the really good one, I guess, because this one, yeah, I don't know. But whatever, is what it is. Let's get to work. Okay, so we got our bar cut, how it's gonna go. So, since I don't have any fancy programs, it's kind of all measure and cut and measure and cut. So once we get this one cut the way we want it, it'll be the same as these pieces. I'll transfer that to the other pipe and it should just go right in. So I'm gonna set that about where I want it, and that one on the angle I want. And for about 10 1/4 back here, or 10. So this can go in a little in this way. So 10. Just under 10 back, just under 10 here. That's pretty good. So it's a rough mark. There. That should almost fall right in there. So, one thing I am going to do, I'm going to cut this a little bit long, and in hopes that I can just cut it back if I need. Because I'll be able to use these somewhere in the rest of my cage if I mess them up, but I'd rather just not mess them up. This cage material is about $9.50 a foot. So I bought 105 or 110 feet of it just to kind of be on the safe side, thinking that was going to be enough. I was going to put 1.5 inches here, but I didn't, and so I don't have a fancy tube cutter or bend or notcher. So, but what we are hoping to achieve here, I'm hoping everything, when I set the body back down, I wish I had the body here on the hoist above me while I was working on this, so I could just lift and lower it up and down and make sure everything's good. But I don't have that luxury right now. I guess I could if I put my hoist up and did a bunch of shuffling, but we're gonna cut this bar off and transfer it onto this side, and then I can get my 2 bars in, I can level them, make sure everything's perfect, and get them tacked, and then I can put all my braces in, and we can go from there. So it's coming along. It's gonna look like a different frame when we're done today, so I'm pretty excited. Okay, so I got my 2 bars in. We got it all level to the frame. They're all within about 1/16 of an inch, give or take. So now I gotta check the level, make sure we're all good side to side. So when we bring our transmission cross member off of here, everything is level. Because everything, like our exhaust will hang off of some, might be off of this, I'm not sure yet. So yeah, so I've got to put a bar across here because my level doesn't fit. I don't have a longer one, so cut up our template bar. So what I'll do is put my other bar across the frame itself. That looks pretty good. Put that on there. So we're pretty much perfect. And on these bars, this side has to come up a bit. So, or this side goes down. Yeah. It'd be a lot easier if I was on a frame table, because then I take references from the actual table, but we don't have that luxury here. So, yeah. Working with what we got. Okay, so we got our old slugger out from Banditos. We got, those guys helped us out and got us a sweet chop saw. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put some of these in. So I cut 6 of these at 5 3/4. Now, you can't just weld that up. You gotta notch it. And I mean, to get a notcher, unless you're doing this all the time, a notcher saves a pile of time. But I didn't know how much I was gonna use all this equipment. So like, plan kind of was like, if I don't use the pipe bender, I'll sell it. But that being said, I could probably use a tubing notcher, but you can do it without a tubing notcher. So I'll show you. So basically, just take your cutoff disc and you cut it on an angle on both sides. You cut back just enough that when you cut it at an angle, it's gonna basically cope that out for you. And then grab a cone stone and clean it up, and it fits like, I mean, like it fits almost perfect. Like, I mean, I could keep messing with it and get it so that it is perfect, but that's a pretty good fit. So you can do it any way you want. You can stand it up and cut it however you want. I find it's easiest laying it down and cutting straight like that, and then just pull it out, rotate it, and do the next one. So you got one done. Flip it over so that it is the same. Just like that. And I mean, that is almost a perfect fit. So like I said, guys, if you can do all this stuff, you can, you don't need all the fancy tools. You do need a pipe bender if you're putting a cage in it and doing any of the pipe bending, but you don't need a hydraulic one. You can get manual ones. I'm just lazy. That's why I got a hydraulic one. But when I do my actual cage, I'll probably look at buying a notcher, because then you can notch on the angles that your bars are running at. Mine's a pretty basic cage, so a lot of it's going to be like straight butt up like this. So I don't know. We'll see. If I find one on Marketplace, I might go buy it. What else is there to do when you're sitting on the toilet in the morning, scrolling Marketplace, you buy things. All right, so I got my pieces cut. And then I also got, that's not too hot. Also cut these, and you can cut these the same, like angles like this the same with the grinder, right? So that is gonna fit right in there, nice and tight, nice, great fit. Just because there's a lot of torque that's gonna be just on that. So by adding this, it transfers that into the frame, like it takes some of the torque off of just that bracket. So that's my thought behind it. I think it's gonna stiffen the frame up a lot. And I think, because you're trying to keep the chassis from twisting, right? You want everything to go onto the back flat. So that's what we're trying to achieve. We'll see what happens here, but I'm gonna get these pieces cleaned up and figure out where I'm putting them exactly and get that all mocked up. And then, yeah, remove some of the mill scale off of them, which there isn't really much, but yeah, we'll get them cleaned up for welding. Hopefully we can get all this tacked up. We're getting late in the day. This takes a lot more time than I expected, so, and that's why we're getting behind. But yeah, we'll try and get stuff at least tacked so we can come in here tomorrow, hit the ground running, and weld this all out. And hopefully by tomorrow some parts show up, maybe. I don't know. If not, we'll set the motor in and we can start working on the tranny cross member. All right, so we got them all cleaned up. We will get these all welded in. I didn't put those ones in yet, but we're gonna get them all tacked in and yeah, go from there. This frame is looking good, guys. We'll get all that welded out tomorrow. Just one of those things, you work on it enough, think about it enough, figure it out. So I don't know, we'll see. Once we get the frame done, we're gonna send it out for to sandblast all the new steel, and we're gonna get, I don't really want to powder coat it because I have to grind certain spots to put the cage in it. So I don't know what we're gonna do for there, but it's coming along. We're just way behind. Well, we're back at it. I'm gonna put a strap in between just to hold it in place. It's not really gonna go anywhere, but we're gonna get all this welded out now, and once that's welded out, we'll be able to set the engine in and get the transmission set up where it needs to be. So we're getting there. It's yeah, it's a little slow going, but that's okay. It is what it is. So these bars, they are angled up a little bit, and I did that for a reason, so that when it gets weight on here from the transmission, it'll be like, it's gonna push into here, and I'm hoping that kind of gives it the kind of torque on it. I don't know. That was my thoughts. Maybe it should have been flat, but it is, like, yeah. Let's weld it up. Are you kidding me? Ha! We're out of gas. It's always it's the first thing in the morning usually. I just went to town, dropped off my kids for school, came back, go to start welding, and yeah, out of gas. So I either go back to town and get gas, or we rig something up off the truck. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna back the truck up here because I got gas in it, and rig it up to my welder. So I could, no, the bottle's heavy. I don't want to pull it out. Yeah. Fuck's sake. All right, so that worked out good. So I just hooked it into the back of the machine. It should be good. Go out, turn on some gas, and we can get back welding. It's always how it goes. You just getting ready to weld, and then bam, no gas. Okay, so we got this all welded out. I also did weld these because it was garbage from GM. So that's just something I wanted to do. Well, here we are. I don't know what day it is. The days are running together, guys. But I'm just underneath the body here trying to figure some stuff out because I got doing some measurements, and future Sean's not gonna like me. I think I might have messed up. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Before I send the frame out to get coated, I'm gonna have to put the body on it. I wish I would have had the hoist set up and had this on the hoist so that I could just set it on and off and check things as I was going, but I wasn't smart enough to do that, so we'll just deal with repercussions when they arise. That's it for today. Thanks, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're really trying to get this this build going, get some traction on it, and yeah, if you guys subscribe, share it, and yeah, we can get some cool stuff going. So thanks, guys.